Hi friends! Today I'll show you how to draw an easy landscape in Procreate. This tutorial is great for beginners. Let's create a new layer. Select a medium blue for the sky color and drag it to the workspace to fill the canvas. Add a second layer. I go to airbrushing and select medium brush. We're going to create a gradient. By the way, you can download the color palette for this tutorial for free. I choose a very light blue and draw a line at the top of the canvas. Then I move to the purples and select a pale purple. I draw a second line. Now I want a pale orange. Then I go back to purples and pick up a saturated purple. The lines don't have to be perfect. And now I move to the blues and select a very dark blue. Great. Let's go to Adjustments and choose Gaussian Blur. Just press on the canvas and drag your pen to the right to blur the lines. I stop at the middle because I don't want to overblur it. Select the sky blue color on the palette. It will be saved in the history of your palette. Now let's use the Select tool. I will freely outline the cloud and space above it and close the lasso selection. Now we have the cloud outline. I select the fluffy blender brush from my mixed media brush set. And I start to blur the edges of the cloud. It's very relaxing. I adjust the size of the blender as I go. By the way, you can use Procreate default smudge tool as a blender. It looks like a finger in the top right menu. Let's create a third layer. It will be the texture of the clouds. I select the watercolor round brush. I'll start with white color and set the brush size to medium. In my mind, the light is coming from the right, and I start drawing arch lines. They will be the lightest edges of the parts of the cloud. It's better if they don't repeat. They don't have to be perfect either. I'll switch to the light blue as I go into the darker areas. And then I'm switching to the pale purple. The first step is done. I select white and add color to the points where arches meet. These lines kind of look like rays. It's a repetitive action. Don't overthink it. Fill the whole cloud. I accidentally used white on the light blue line, so I rolled it back and selected light blue. It doesn't look like much on camera, but we will use a different layer mode soon, and it will be visible then. You'll see. I also use pale purple in the bottom. And this is what it looks like at this point. Now we are going to blur the details. Let's switch to the fluffy blender brush. I'm only blending above the arched lines now. And this is what it should look like at this point. Let's reduce the size of the brush a bit. I'll blend the bottom contours now, but I don't want to overblend them. They still need to look like soft lines. And it's done. I go to layers and change the layer mode to color dodge. Now you can see the difference between the pale blue and pale purple. I also reduce the opacity and set it to around 70%. Let's create a new layer. I select the wax crayon brush and a very dark purple color. I add uneven hill's edge and quickly fill it in. Now let's add some trees. Make them look messy and natural. That's great. I'll add a layer for smaller clouds and pick a medium purple. Tilt your canvas if it's easier for your hand movements. Add 2 or 3 irregular thin clouds. Then add some light orange to the bottom of the clouds. I want to smudge them a bit. To do it, I select the dry blender stick brush. It reminds me of the traditional pastel smudger. I move my hand along the clouds, adjusting the pressure and size of the brush. And now let's drag the top cloud layer under the layer with the trees. I return to the top layer and add some stars to the blue sky behind the cloud. You can do it with the basic round brush. The landscape is ready. I'll show you one more thing that you can do here. I will group all the layers. Duplicate the group. Click on it and select Flatten. It will make everything one layer. Now let's go to Adjustments. I'll use curves for this image. I add an S-curve to the line. It brings more contrast to the whole image. Looks good. I hope you enjoyed the process. Have a great day. Bye, friends.